Hello. We're going to look at the Module 4 homework. And again, this is the only homework assignment where you need to send both a handout, as you have done with 4 or 6 slides on a page, as well as the actual presentation, so I can find out if you have done the transitions and animations correctly. So we are on page 93, Independent Challenge 1. And we begin by adding a footer. Insert header and footer. We'll want a slide number, and on the footer itself, we'll put our name. Note that you don't put it on the title slide. That's pretty typical. And then you go apply to all. There's the removal from the title slide. This module talks about slide masters. What that means is there is an area where you can add some content to every slide. So this would be useful to add a logo or other graphic you might want to have on every slide. And the way you do that is as follows. You go to View, and here we see Slide Master. Now there are master setups for each layout, but if you go to the top, you will see that there is one master at the top, which takes care of all of the slides. So whatever you put on this one, it will appear on all slides no matter what the layout is. So we're going to insert a picture, insert picture. This should be in your files. It's PPT46. We insert it. You notice right away that it shows up on every layout master. We're going to put this here. We can change its dimensions. You notice since we're using a picture, we have a tab for pictures. And we'll change the width to 1.5. It shrinks proportionally, which is the default. We can also change the color to this purple accent one. We go back to View, and we will return to normal view. And as you can see, the logo is now on every slide. And every new slide that we might add to this presentation will have the logo as well. Now we want to go to apply animations. Animations are things that happen to text or graphics as the slideshow is presented. So we go to animations, and it suggests that we do something to every title slide. And so we want to do a shape animation. So here for our title, we do a shape animation. So you notice that it's an entrance effect. There are entrance, emphasis. There are also exit effects. So they occur when the slide starts for an entrance, bringing the shape into view like that. We'll do that for every title slide. So I'll do it for a couple here, but you need to do it for every title. So I'll put a shape here. And we would do that for 3, 4, and 5. The next, we will perform an animation for the bulleted list. This is pretty useful in that you can, if you are demonstrating the slide presentation as a lecture, you can introduce each element of the bullet one by one via animation. And here we'll see we want to use the float in. You notice you have different effects here. You can do it by paragraph all at once or by object. So we'll do that for this one as well. Again, float in. Our final animation, and again, you want to do that for every bulleted list. So we would do it here. Let's do it for this slide. For our title, we want the shape. For our bulleted list, we want the float in. And one more animation we can apply to a graphic. We click our graphic. You notice they're numbered. The first of the animations for this slide will be 1, then 2, 3, 4 for the bulleted list. Finally, for this picture, we'd like to do something called the box. We'll do shape and then make it a box. So the shape animation is that closing in from the outside. You notice there are effect options. You can make it in or out, and you can pick the shape that you'd like it to assume. So this will be box. So shape, and then modify it so that it is of a box style. Here's the part that most students have difficulty with, and that is the transition. So animations are things that happen when the slide is up and part of the show. Transitions are what happen in between when we move from one slide to the other. The best way to watch transitions work and apply them is to change the view. So you notice here we have a slide sorter view, and we'll pick that. You notice that the star here in the corner indicates that there is animation. For transition, we'd like to move to that tab, and we're going to pick a transition called vortex. That's here. And it works like that. Now we want to apply it to all slides. And here's the part that you want to do correctly. And most students have problems remembering to do or are uncertain as to what the book is asking for. So there are two ways, basically, to present a slide presentation. One is to move it yourself with mouse clicks as you are there describing things. The other is to do it automatically with the slides moving at some pre-described timing. The simplest is here in the right corner of the transition tab, and you can say every 5 seconds. And again, apply to all. So what has this done? So let's look at our slideshow. We'll begin with the first slide. Now remember, in order to present the slideshow, so this would be one that would run on its own. If you were going to talk about this as the slides went on, you would obviously do it with mouse click. So you could time it out based on what you're talking about. So this is the actual slideshow button. It fills the screen. And now without touching the mouse, we will see that we get our animation, transition, more animations. But again, this is doing it on its own every 5 seconds. There are ways to add or subtract time and to do it so that more complicated slides might have more time. To stop the show, you hit escape. And this is what you need to send to me. So that is why I need to see the actual presentation. You also, of course, need to go to print it correctly. And by the way, if you want to add your name to your handouts, you can do it this way. We go to View, Handout Master. In the Handout Master, somewhere within it, you can put, for example, in the header, your name. Now let's return to our regular view. Notice at this point, when you go to File, Print, we'll pick a handout. In this case, let's do 3 slides. So you have 2 pages. You notice your name is up in the corner because you put it on the master. Again, we go here, create a PDF. Go to Print. Down at the bottom, you'll notice that you get a indication that the PDF needs a name. So again, put the information as you have with your last name, first name, and the section and module homework. And save it. So after you do this, you find this file, and this is what you send to me for handouts. You do this for all the other modules, sending this PDF of your handout as an attachment. You don't need to do the outline view, just a handout. The outline view is only for module 1. That's it.